Hello student, today we start the another topic of chemical equilibrium is effect of catalyst. It is the last topic and we already discussed number of factors which are effect on chemical equilibrium. So how equilibrium is established? There are several factors are responsible for it. So it is last point, effect of catalyst. So what is a catalyst? Basically the reactions are proceed in a normal conditions, but some reactions are very faster, some are very slower. If we need to speed up the reaction, so that time we changes the some conditions. Means sometime we do the changing the pressure, changing temperature, changing concentration. So number of factors are responsible for the speed up reaction. Apart from this, some substances which are taking part in reaction but just accelerate the reaction. So they are not directly taking part in chemical change. They just take part in reaction conditions and to speed up the reaction. Reaction is accelerate as compared to normal speed. So these substances called as catalyst. So catalyst always used is the substance always used to alter the rate of reaction without taking part in chemical changes, chemical composition. So their composition remains unreacted and at the end of the process the catalyst is always or 100% recovered. So the substance which is recovered 100%, so this is a good catalyst. So catalyst depends on their nature, how it is easier to be separate out at the end of reaction. There are a lot of things there. So here we just point out, if catalyst present in reaction condition, it accelerate or speed up the reaction and to attain the equilibrium point as possible as faster. So this is the catalyst. After that, we're going to discuss some problems which is based on catalytic condition or which is totally based on equilibrium condition. So first problem is given to you. It is the arsenic can be obtained, extracted from their ores when it reacting with oxygen. So arsenic, it is the in a mixed form. When it react with oxygen, so their ore means what? When the any metal which is extracted economically, it is the ore. त्याला आपण ore म्हणतो. So the ore, arsenic ore, when react with oxygen, first of all oxygen react with arsenic react with oxygen, formation of arsenic hexaoxide, tetra arsenic hexaoxide, and further this reduce with carbon, we get the pure arsenic. So this is a reaction is given to you. A tetra arsenic hexaoxygen, it is a solid when it reduced by the carbon. Carbon is the reducing agent, X is the reducing agent. It converts into arsenic plus 6 molecules of carbon monoxide. That means here this is the in a gaseous state, carbon monoxide in a gaseous state, but before that arsenic and carbons are present in a solid state. So what is asked to you? Predict the direction of equilibrium on the following changes. Means the some conditions are given, some changes are given, and predict your answer how equilibrium is shifted. Means it shifted to the right side or shifted to the back side or shifted remains unchanged. Means it is remains unchanged. So it is three possibility. Either it shifted to the right means product side, either it shifted left means at the reactant side or remains unchanged depending on condition. So three conditions are given to you. First condition is addition of CO. Addition of CO. Second condition is addition or removal of carbon or arsenic, tetra arsenic hexaoxygen. Third condition is removal of gaseous arsenic. Means in first condition add more CO here. In second condition add or removal of these two. In third condition, this is the removal of this arsenic. Okay, so this reaction is given to you. According to this reaction, we first point is going to be discussed here. When CO is added to the product side, that means concentration of product is rises, increases, and you know for any reaction, we calculate K as well as at equilibrium, K is equal to Q. K is equal to Q. But suppose we write the equation for Q is a quotient of reaction condition. Q is equal to concentration of arsenic, there is no power, concentration of CO, the power is 6, then concentration of As 4 6 and concentration of carbon 6. Okay, so basically number of molecules are same, power of exponents are same. What happened, what we going to do here? Addition of CO. Suppose we add more CO here, so value or concentration of numerator is increases. If this value is increases because concentration is increases after adding of CO, so this value is increases as compared to denominator, that means the value of K is increases. So value of Q is increases. So if Q is increases, that means here Q is greater than K. That means Q is greater than K. At equilibrium, both are same. But once we add the more CO at the numerator, that means the Q is increases. If Q is increases, that means Q is greater than K. I already told you there are two conditions. Q is greater than K and K is greater than Q. So, if K is greater than Q, reaction is shifted to the product side. Okay. And if Q is greater than K, reaction shifted to the left side. That means it is a reactant side. So, here equilibrium shifted towards left, that means it is a reactant, towards reactant. So it is a first. So what is the direction? The direction is equilibrium more shifted towards the, means this is increases, it comes back to the original reactant side. It is a first. What asks second to you? Addition of or removal of carbon and tetra arsenic hexoxide. So basically the second changes is given, there is no effect on the equilibrium. Why? Because of these twos are present in a solid state. So to increase the concentration of solid does not affect on value of Q. Q remains same, K remains same. So in second case, Q is equal to K because there is solid do not change the value of Q. That means Q is equal to K, equilibrium remains constant. So equilibrium remains same. Remains same. And here third condition is given. What is the third condition? Removal of gaseous arsenic. So here gaseous arsenic is formed. If we remove this gaseous arsenic, that means the concentration at the product side decreases. That means if we apply this equation, we remove the concentration of arsenic because arsenic is removed out. So the concentration at the numerator is decreases as compared to denominator. That means what we expect, the value of K decreases or increases? It decreases because numerator is lower than denominator. That's why the expected value is always lower. It decreases. So Q is decreases. That means what we use here, K is greater than Q. So if K is greater than Q, what will happen? The equilibrium is shifted to the right side. Means equilibrium shifted towards right That means formation of product. Formation of product. So if we remove of the concentration of arsenic, more and more will be the product form. So this is the changes what happen on the given reaction if we do these changes. So there are three conditions, three types of observations are obtained. In first case, the reaction is shifted towards left side, means reactant side. In second case, it is remains unchanged, and in third condition, it is the shifted to the right, means product side. We discuss one more example. Okay, so second problem is there is a commercial production of hydrogen by following reaction. The reaction is CO plus H2O gives H2 plus CO2, means carbon monoxide water vapors react together gives H2 hydrogen gas and carbon dioxide molecule. So how will you equilibrium shifted in the following cases? So five conditions, five cases are given to you. So first case is gaseous CO2 is removed, second is water vapor is added, pressure increased by adding the helium gas, temperature is increased, and last one, pressure increased by decreasing the volume of the reaction content. So five conditions we discuss one by one. So for the given reaction, Q is equal to concentration of H2. So here the equation is given, the conditions are given, and for given reaction the Q is equal to H2 into CO2 upon CO into H2O. So there is a product upon reactant. So what is the first condition? The first condition is the gaseous CO2 is removed. Where is the gaseous CO2? Here is the gaseous CO2. That means the CO2 is here. If we remove the CO2, the concentration of CO2 goes decreases. So value at the numerator is decreases as compared to denominator. So what happen? The value of Q goes decreases. So here in first case Q is decreases, that means it is less than K. So what is the first condition? K is greater than Q. So if K is greater than Q, so in first condition the Q is less than K or K is greater than Q, so it shifted to the right, shifted towards right side, means more product will be formed. What is the second condition? Water vapor is added. Here is the water. Okay, so if more water vapors added in the reaction condition, here is the water, means concentration of water increases. If concentration of water increases, that means the value at the denominator also increases. If value is increases at denominator, the Q goes decreases. So in second case again same, Q is less than K. So again reaction is shifted towards the right side, means more product will be formed. What is the third condition? Pressure increases by helium gas. You know, helium is the inert gas. It is a noble gas, it is a rare gas, noble gas or inert gas. So if we apply the helium gas pass from the reaction condition, their effect on it is not possible, not happen. Why? Because at the reactant and at the product, there is a same number of molecules are present, we will discuss here, but the helium is noble gas, their effect on changing concentration of reactant and product is not happen. That means the equilibrium remains constant. So here Q is equal to K, equilibrium remains constant means Q is equal to K, so it remains constant. It remains constant. For fourth condition, what is the fourth condition? Temperature is increases. If temperature is increases, so what happen? The temperature is increases at the product side, right? Means if temperature is increases, that means reaction is exothermic because heat is evolved out. So the reaction container is becomes hotter. That means it is evolved out from reaction to outside. So temperature is rises, temperature is increases. So that time, if here temperature is increases, the reaction is exothermic. So this is the cooler side, less temperature side, here is high temperature side. And always the equilibrium shifted from high temperature to low temperature. So this equilibrium is shifted towards the left side. So again, if temperature is increases, the equilibrium shifted at the left side, towards the left side. Okay, and last one is the pressure increased by the decreasing the volume of the reaction content. Means if we decreases the volume of reaction content, so reactant is there, suppose 1 mole is here, 100 ml, 100 ml, if we change what, 20 ml, 20 ml, or 30 ml, 30 ml, so if we change the volume, there is no effect on the number of moles because here reaction coefficient is same. That means suppose here the reaction coefficients are different, so that time effect on concentration because number of moles are different. But here both are having the same number of moles. That means if we reduce the volume, means 1 liter volume and 2 liter, suppose you consider 1 liter water and 2 liter water, both having same number of moles. Both having same number of moles because of only water is there. Here both having same number of moles. If we reduce the volume to increase the pressure, but the concentration remains same, so there is no effect because of in fifth condition, here shifted to the left, shifted to left means reactant side, and in last condition remains constant, because here delta n is equal to 0. Delta n is change in number of moles is 0 because at the reactant and at the product same number of moles are there. 1 mole, 1 mole, 1 mole, 1 mole. So reaction coefficient remains same. So there is no effect on the equilibrium. So this is all about the first chapter is finished here. We stop. We complete the first chapter here, solve all the exercise which is given in book, solve MCQ questions and all. If you have any difficulty, you put your questions on the WhatsApp group. So we're going to start in the third chapter. So chapter 3 is ionic equilibria or ionic equilibrium. Okay, the first chapter is chemical energetic, second one is chemical equilibrium. So what we learn in second chapter, so second chapter mostly regarding the chemical dissociation, means dissociation of reactants into products. So dissociation of solid, liquid or gaseous in a product side, means when the reactants are dissociated into solids, means suppose gaseous converts into liquid, gases converts into solid or solid converts into gaseous. So just chemical equilibrium, how to maintain, how to maintain or reaches during the chemical transformation we discuss in second chapter. But the third one is ionic equilibrium. So ionic equilibrium means the equilibrium at when the substance which are ionized in aqueous condition. So dissociation or ionization of substance in aqueous condition, so that time equilibrium is maintained, equilibrium is reaches, is the ionic equilibrium. Simple, what is the ionic equilibrium? Suppose we consider NaCl, so in beginning of the reaction in a aqueous condition, here formation of Na plus and Cl minus. Again here is the aqueous condition, here is the aqueous condition. Okay, means this is the ionization. Okay, this is the ionization, means the molecules are tried to ionize. After some time, what happen? Some NaCl converts into ionic form, some ionic molecules again back to the NaCl form. So Na plus Cl minus, it is ionic or there is ions. Okay, there is ions. So first of all it ionizes, some ionized converts into unionized, it is a unionized, this is the ionized. This is the ionized. So before that, unionized converts into ionized. After some time, some ionized converts into unionized. And at point, there is no further ionization is possible. Means the ionized and unionized, their number of molecule remains constant. Means there is a ionization and unionization stop there, and to reaches to maintain the equilibrium called as ionic equilibrium. त्यालाच आपण म्हणणार आहे ionic equilibrium. So in that chapter we're going to discuss the how ionization of acid and bases in aqueous condition. We also going to discuss about the pH scale. We also discussing in later part of the chapter is common ion effect. What is the solubility of, or what is the ionization of sparingly soluble compounds, sparingly soluble salts. So basically in that ionic equilibrium, we mostly going to discuss the solubility product, common ion effect, pH scale. Then there is a electrolyte, non-electrolyte conditions, strong acid, weak base, their solubility, their ionization in aqueous condition. We are going to discuss in detail by one in a whole chapter. So this is the aim of the chapter, is to understand the solubility or ionization of the strong acid, weak base, strong base, weak acid, all strong and weak acid bases, some sparingly soluble salt, how they are ionized in aqueous medium. We are also going to discuss, pH, how we decide, means pH scale is predicted from 0 to 14. Then also discussing common ion effect and their effect on ionization and solubility. We're going to discuss in detail. Before that, we're going to discuss here the topic. The first topic is strong, moderate and weak electrolyte. Strong, moderate and weak electrolyte. Okay, so we're going to discuss it. Strong, moderate and weak electrolyte. So on the basis of ability of the substance which are ionized in aqueous medium, there are substances first of all divided into two classes. So before it, the substances divided into two classes: electrolyte and non-electrolyte. Electrolyte and non-electrolyte. There are two types of substances we divide, and then electrolyte are considered as a strong, second one is moderate, and third one is weak. So first of all, we are discussing the electrolyte and non-electrolyte substances. What is the electrolyte? So electrolyte means the substance which has conduct the electricity due to their ions, called as electrolytes substances. Means जे substances electricity conduct करतात from one end to one electrode to another electrode, त्यांना म्हणतात electrolyte substances. आणि जर सोल्युशन असेल तर त्याला म्हणतात इलेक्ट्रोलाइट सोल्युशन. आणि दुसरे सबस्टन्सेस म्हणजे काय? द सबस्टन्सेस डू नॉट कंडक्ट द इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बाय ड्यू टू देअर आयन्स इज द नॉन इलेक्ट्रोलाइट. Simple example, if you do the NaCl solution, if you put the two electrodes, it is the conductivity of electricity from one end to another end. So salt water is a good conductor of electricity, good conductivity water, conductivity solution. But non-electrolyte means in the same container, if you put the solution of sugar, means glucose, if you glycerol or some liquids are added, so glucose, fructose, glycerine, etc., hydrocarbons, so these are the non-electrolyte substances. They do not have tendency to conduct or to electricity from one end to another end. So basically electrolyte substances, those substances which has tendency to conduct the electricity from one end to another end, are the electrolyte substances. If there is a solution, it is an electrolyte solution. So further, the electrolyte substances are divided into three different types. So there are electrolyte divided. First is strong electrolyte. First is strong electrolyte. Okay. So strong electrolyte means if the substance which are almost completely ionized in aqueous medium, completely ionized in aqueous medium is the strong electrolyte. It is a ionizable substance. Electrolyte substance हा ionizable substance असतो. So it is the almost completely ionized in aqueous medium is the strong electrolyte substance. For example, strong acid and bases. Strong acids and bases. And second, soluble salt. Soluble salts means, for example, NaCl. Strong acid and bases means HCl, HNO3, H2SO4. These are the acids. Means bases means KOH, NaOH, etc. So all are the substances which are almost 100% ionizable in a aqueous medium. These all are the strong electrolyte. These all are the strong electrolyte. What is a weak electrolyte? Or second means we consider moderate. Second, we consider moderate electrolyte. Moderate means the substances which are dissolved in a water nearly 50%. So about 50% they are dissolved or ionizable in a water are the moderate. And third one is weak. So here 50% ionized, and here almost 100% ionized, not 100% but almost 99 point something. Okay, here is a 50% ionized. And what is a weak? If the substance is only 5% ionized, near about 5% ionized are the weak electrolyte. And the weak electrolyte examples are, there is a acetic acid is the example. Acetic acid is a weak electrolyte because it has only 5% ionizable. Solubility is another thing. Ionizable is another thing. Means if it is possible, acetic acid is 100% dissolved there, but ionization is not happen, because for solubility the number of factors are responsible. But solubility is another thing and ionization is another thing. So it is a three different kind of electrolyte: strong electrolyte, moderate electrolyte, and weak electrolyte. So in next chapter we discuss the ionic equilibria in detail. So these are very important to understand ionic equilibria, because these terms are continuously used to understand ionic equilibria. So for that you must know about the strong electrolyte, moderate electrolyte, and weak electrolyte in a reaction for the conductivity of electricity. So this is all about the today's lecture. We will discuss some more topics with more point about the ionic equilibria in a next lecture.